1991, a tragic event shook France and fueled years of controversy. On June 23rd, Ghislaine Marchal, a wealthy widow living in the French Riviera town of Mougins, was found dead in her home. Near her body, scrawled in what appeared to be her own blood, were the words, "Omar m'a tué," translated as, "Omar killed me." These haunting words would lead to a highly contentious trial and a debate that still persists today. Marchal's body was found in a small basement room with injuries indicating she had been violently attacked. There were signs of a struggle, and investigators found bloodstains, as well as a large pool of blood near the inscription on the door. The door had been shut and locked from the inside, suggesting that Marchal may have been trapped in with her killer. The initial investigation quickly zeroed in on Omar Raddad, Marchal's gardener. He was a 29-year-old Moroccan immigrant, well-liked in the area, and had no prior criminal record. Police claimed that the bloody message, "Omar m'a tué," pointed directly to him. Despite an error in grammar, tuer instead of tué, authorities believed this was a desperate attempt by Marchal to identify her attacker. The prosecution's case was primarily based on circumstantial evidence and forensic details. Investigators found traces of Omar's blood in the vicinity of the crime scene, though it wasn't directly linked to the victim's wounds. Additionally, no fingerprints or other solid forensic evidence connected him directly to the murder weapon. The case quickly went to trial, and Omar consistently denied any involvement, claiming he had no reason to harm Marchal and was elsewhere at the time of the murder. He insisted on his innocence, and his lawyers argued that the evidence was purely circumstantial and that the blood evidence could have been transferred due to his regular presence at the villa. Despite these arguments, the court found him guilty, and in 1994, Omar Raddad was sentenced to 18 years in prison. The verdict shocked many, with critics suggesting that racial bias may have influenced the decision, given Omar's immigrant background. The verdict sparked outrage across France, and people began questioning the reliability of the investigation. Prominent public figures, including writers, journalists, and politicians, expressed doubts about the case. They argued that the inscription's grammatical error was unusual for a French-speaking woman like Marchal, and suggested that it might have been staged. Amid growing public pressure, President Jacques Chirac granted Omar partial clemency in 1996, reducing his sentence, though he was not officially exonerated. Omar was released after serving about 7 years in prison. Omar Raddad continued to fight to clear his name, launching appeals to reopen the case. In 2015, technological advancements allowed for new DNA tests. These tests uncovered DNA samples at the crime scene that did not belong to Omar or the victim. For many, this discovery was a turning point, reigniting debates about the case's integrity and fueling suspicions of a miscarriage of justice. In 2022, the French justice system agreed to re-examine the case once more, driven by the new DNA evidence. Yet, despite fresh evidence and ongoing doubts, the case has remained legally unresolved, leaving questions about what really happened on that fateful day in June 1991. The Omar Raddad case stands as a complex and haunting chapter in French legal history. The words "Omar m'a tué" have become symbolic of possible judicial error and the challenges that lie within the justice system. While some remain convinced of his guilt, others see him as an innocent man who fell victim to prejudice and an imperfect investigation. As the quest for truth continues, the case serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of due process and the lasting impact of an accusation. The question remains, will we ever know what truly happened to Ghislaine Marchal, or will the mystery of Omar m'a tué remain unsolved forever?